So Marvel's Eternals, what's been called the most important Marvel movie, has been seen by the critics and their reactions are in. It's been called epic, beautiful. Some might say it cures cancer. Honestly, see, this film, I just see it being a disaster, to be honest. It's definitely going to be one of these films that will be protected from criticism. We might have another Captain Marvel on our hands, except 10 times worse. Probably the wokest, most intersectional, feminist-filled 2-hour garbage. That's my prediction. How well it does in the box office, I'm not sure. But it's been predicted for its opening weekend to do between 82 and 102 million. And over the course of it being out from 210 to 280 million. So how well it does on that, I don't know, but it's going to be one of these films where you've always got the people cut. Every new Marvel film, it's always the best one. Because that's what franchises do. As they go on, they just get better. But I suppose we'll see what the critics are saying, because they're not biased in any way. Just got out of Eternals. I've never been so invested in a story. It was cinematically beautiful. I was engaged the entire time. There's a lot to ingest, but they do such a great job to process it all. This feels so different from the MCU, like it's its own universe. Eternals is amazing. Do we believe for 1 second that it's amazing? It might be mid-level, but I don't see it being amazing. Chloe Zhao and company turn in an evocative, emotional, extraordinary, epic superhero. You got enough words in that one. The ensemble have great chemistry and all get big movie moments to showcase their prowess. The naturalism of Ben Davis' cinematography spotlights characters' humanity. Eternals was one of my most anticipated movies of the... That's your most anticipated movie. And I'm happy to report that it did not disappoint at all. Chloe Zhao takes you on a thrilling and emotional journey. The visuals are incredible and the cast absolutely kills it. The cosmic side of the MCU is expanding. Holy crap, Eternals is a freaking masterpiece. Again, there's another word I'm like, really? It's a masterpiece. Packed with adrenaline right from the start, but also filled with lots of heart and humour. So many MCU firsts. Your mind will be blown. Nods to comics, but a totally unique story. Those end credits are game changers. Chloe Zhao's Eternals is mesmerising, and unlike anything we've seen before in the MCU, it breaks a familiar mould and delivers an epic and beautifully crafted story that is grand, yet grounded in a love of humanity. Aside from a few dazzling moments and a wonderfully diverse cast, again, doesn't make a film good. Eternals disappointed me. The story is an expository, convoluted mess as it jumps through time and multiple continents with an uneven tone. Ramin scores soars, but Chloe Zhao's distinctive style is sadly Aside from a few dazzling moments and a wonderfully diverse cast, Eternals disappointed me. The story is an expository, convoluted mess as it jumps through time and multiple continents with an uneven tone. Eternals struggles with the amount of characters it introduces us to, requiring backstories, info on their powers, and a moment each which competes with the plot pacing to do so. That was one of the things that I thought would make a mess of a movie. Because you've got all these characters... I mean, if you're looking at the Avengers, it's like all the build-up they had to do for that. Where I reckon if they did the Avengers and just jumped straight into it, it probably wouldn't have worked out the way it did. So I think having all those characters just does create a bit of a problem. Unless you're able to get rid of that problem. And again, it's just one of these situations with films now where you can't really put your trust into the critics. That's long done at this point. There's maybe stuff you can pull from it, but other than that, it's most of it, they're not really going to go out and pure wreck the film, are they? You know, after they get their goodie bags and all that, when they went to the premiere. But I really do think we're looking at the most progressive film Marvel's ever done. Then you've got this article, "The Women of Eternals Will Save the World." This is obviously an interview with a woman out of Eternals. And there's a lot of stuff in there about, where it's just you having a connection with the planet, love for the planet. So I don't know if there's probably going to be climate change stuff in there, I'm guessing. I think this film is going to have pretty much every message it possibly can. It just seems like that's the way they're going with it. I do see this being the worst one, to be honest. It just seems like it. When you've got people calling it a masterpiece. I don't... When you go out and say, it's a masterpiece, yeah, sure. Maybe to you it is. But we're gonna have the same thing with Shang-Chi. Everyone goes, it's the best Marvel movie. This will come out and we'll still have people saying it's the best Marvel movie. It's like, pick one. I'm not too sure, but I do wonder if this is going to make less than Shang-Chi did. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. It may bring in a lot of cash, but at the end of the day, I'm more worried about is it good or not. A lot of people miss that. They go, well, it made money. It's like, well, that doesn't mean shit if it's shit, does it? But need not worry, because the critics say it's epic and beautiful and emotional and stuff like that. Like I said, the trailers they've put out haven't done it any service. It hasn't done them any good service, because it just looks bleak, depressing. But maybe we'll get this one out of the way, and then hopefully the Spider-Man film will be good. Maybe that'll be something that's going to be worth seeing. Well, I mean, who's not going to see that when you've got... Well, everyone's going for Tobey Maguire and like Doc Ock and Green Goblin and all that. That's the main thing people are looking at. That's why everyone's hyped up about that. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But that's all I've got to say on that anyway. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.